नमः। नमः
नमः
ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी सदारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you all for turning on your beautiful videos, and I'm able to see your beautiful faces for that reason. And I was able to observe lot of expressions from you, specifically when you were saying Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
I
Krishna
love the way Akshita is
Hare
doing.
Hare
Akshita, can you do it?
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Hare.
So the mood is that you get observed in that, and I could see that you're all absorbed in chanting the holy names of the Lord. Very good, kids. I am so proud of you. Now we are going to start our chanting. So everybody who has not turned on your videos, please turn it on. So we will all be able to chant together, and we will all be able to relish and enjoy. Is that fine? Do you all have your bead bags with you?
Yes, Mataji, I have my bead bag.
Who doesn't have? Who wants to bring it? Who wants to bring it? They can go quickly and bring it up. I can wait for you. Is it possible? Varun, can you turn on your video? Josh, Samskriti, can you please turn on your video? Ujasvi, Tulsi. Okay, we are going to chant, and if you don't have your bead bags, can you go and bring your bead bags? Thank
Mataji,
you,
I
kids.
have my bead bag.
Wonderful, wonderful, Akshita.
Mataji, I have my bag.
Okay, even I do. Okay, let's chant. Let's start. I think Varun is, okay.
It's
Gita
gone
is
pretty.
outside, Varun.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
It's outside. Thank you. Hi, Mukund. Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's get started with our chanting. We will do one round of chanting followed by, what did I say? The
Moral story.
moral story. Yes.
Yay.
All right. Okay, kids, let's get started. Jai Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Jai
Chaitanya,
Shri
Prabhu
Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya
Nityananda
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda,
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Radhara
Gadadhara
Radhika
Sivasari
Hari
Sivasari
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhaktivinoda.
Vrinda
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
now.
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Hare. Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
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 Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Ram Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Kids, are
Krishna
you all done?
Krishna, Hare
Mataji,
Ram,
yes,
Ram Ram,
Mataji.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Oliver's stomach school was buzzing with excitement. కావాలంటే అది join. Mataji selling stories.
Mataji?
Are you all done, kids?
Yeah.
Wonderful chanting, kids. Thank you so much for your association. I really wanted to thank you. That is, Krishna will be so pleased when we chant the holy names of the Lord. And that is what you all did. Thank you so much for your association. That was so wonderful and so pleasing. Okay. All right, kids. So let's get back to our agenda for today, which is moral stories. Usually, Ratna Mataji takes this class, right? Ratna Radhika, I'm sorry, Ratnavalli Mataji.
Ratnavali Mataji.
Yeah, Ratnavalli Mataji. She takes the class. Today, she's not able to take the class. And so, what I did was, I happened to mm, get the PowerPoint from her. She prepared this PowerPoint. I'm just going to, share the story with you all. So, thanks to her for this PowerPoint. Can we all get started, kids?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much. All right. So today, there are two stories that we will be seeing, and then we will be talking through the realizations from the story. Okay. So the first story is the fisherwoman and the flower woman. There are two women here. One is the fisherwoman, another is the flower woman. Okay. Okay. And the first slide. Once there was a fisherwoman. See, we can see her. She's selling the fishes to people. Okay. And now, one day she decided to go to her friend's house. Let's see who her friend is, okay? Her friend was a flower seller and she was very happy to see her friend. I am so happy. What does she say? One second, let me just move this. I'm so happy you have come. Please come in. Like that, this flower woman is asking this fisherwoman to ask her to get into her house. Okay. And we will go on to our next slide. The friend was a flower seller and she was happy to see her friend. Okay, that's the same slide, right? Today you have come for dinner and stay with me for tonight. That's what this flower woman is saying to the fisherwoman. The fisherwoman has come to this flower woman's house, and now this flower woman is requesting this fisherwoman to come and stay in her house. She said, let's have dinner and and I want you to stay at my house also. And then what happens? So they are going to go to sleep. Let's go to sleep. We will sleep in the room where I store my flowers. You will love that fragrance and you will get such a good sleep. Believe me. Like that, this flower woman is telling to the fisherwoman. All right. And then, oh, it's a beautiful room. Why are you so restless? What is the matter? Like that, this fisherwoman, she was feeling so restless and uncomfortable. Okay, because there were so many flowers here, and it was all very nice ambience. But
Yeah, but
again, this
she
woman,
usually used to fish, so
correct, Ramachandra. She's used to the fish, and so she doesn't like the smell of the flowers. Oh, I just feel unhealthy. Oh, it's the fragrance, I think, like that she's saying. Let's move on to the next slide. I'm unable to sleep. Please bring my fish basket. Fish basket. Then only I can sleep. Like this the fisherwoman is telling the flower woman. I will bring it for you. Like that. This flower woman is going to go and get the fish basket for her. Then her friend went out and returned with the fish basket. Can you see her facial expression? She's actually
she's
keeping
like
her fingers.
disgusted.
She's like disgusted. She's like
She doesn't
holding
like
her
the
nose and feeling disgusted.
correct. She doesn't like the smell of the fish because she's used to selling the flowers. The flowers for her seems really fragrant, but the fish, on the contrary, it is not at all good for her. Okay. Now the fisherwoman, she took the basket and she put it there. And then she sprinkled water on it. What a scent! Like that, she says. Ah, I better sleep. This is better. Now I can sleep well, said the fisherwoman. Okay. And within a few
Now
minutes, she was,
now
yeah,
probably the flower woman will not be able to sleep.
correct. Probably she'll go to the same place where she was sleeping before. That is smelling the fragrant smell of the flowers. She will sleep there. But this woman, she happened to sleep nicely, and she was so fast asleep and even started to snore, it seems. And so that is the condition of this fisherwoman. Okay. Very strange. She prefers to stench of fish to the fragrance of flowers. Like that, this woman thinks. Okay. That is the flower woman. Now let's see the moral of the story. What does the moral say? And we can discuss a few instances that has happened in our life to understand and correlate the situation better. Okay.
Mataji,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. My internet connection went, so I couldn't listen to the whole entire story.
Oh, who's this?
Krishna Naina.
Krishna Nena. Oh, okay. So till now, what we discussed was there are two women, okay, flower woman and the fisher woman. The fisher woman happened to come to the house of the flower woman, and the flower woman said, "Let's have dinner and sleep together." And then what happened was both these women, they started to sleep together in the room full of flowers. After a while, the fisherwoman, she started to feel uncomfortable and she said, "No, I'm not getting sleep here. This room smells like, I mean, the smell is okay, but I'm not able to sleep with the smell." And so this flower woman, she goes and gets a basket of fish for her, and she puts it in her room. But for her, this fish smell was so stinky and she felt so uncomfortable. But within a span of few minutes, we saw that this flower woman went to sleep, and she had a good sleep within a few minutes with snoring also. And the flower woman felt like, wow, what a horrible smell this is, and how is she able to sleep with such a smell? And like that, she contemplated upon it, and there ended the story. Is that okay, Krishna Naina?
Yes, Mataji, I can listen to the recording too.
All right, no
Mataji,
problem.
is there another story today?
Yes.
This is Suraj.
Correct. It is Suraj. Thank you, Suraj. Only so we have two stories. This is the first story. As I told you, we will be discussing the moral of the story, and we will also be discussing some incidents. You listen to the story. Are you listening? All right. Okay. So, what is the moral of the story? It is very difficult to change the nature of a person who is used to sinful activities. Even if one offers the highest gift of love of God to a sinful person, he does not appreciate it. Right? So, this is the status of a sinful person. Even if you go and give love of God to that person, he is not going to accept it. We see so many people, we see so many classmates of yours in your school. Not all of them are into Krishna consciousness, are they?
Mataji, there are Indians in my class, but most of them are not devotees.
Yeah. So what happens is, So not everybody who are going to accept this Krishna consciousness process, right? I mean, we need sufficient amount of sukruti to get into this Krishna conscious process. And depending on the nature of the person, one may say, these four regulative principles, so they are so difficult to follow. I am not going to take up this process. It's so cumbersome. Oh my God, you're doing 16 rounds of chanting with initiation. Oh, that is difficult for me. I don't think I can ever follow through. I'm not going to join Krishna consciousness.
Mataji.
Oh, you can't eat meat? That is not possible for me. I can't join Krishna consciousness. So there are so many people with this variety of mentality, right? This mentality is gotten to you through the modes. Because of your particular mode of material nature, be it passion, ignorance, or goodness, you will either take up or not take up. If you have sinful inclinations, you will say, no, I can't take up, right? So that is the nature of the person. You all know about modes, right? We
Yes,
have three
Mataji.
modes, and the three modes
Goodness,
are
passion, ignorance.
goodness, passion, and
Goodness, passion,
ignorance.
ignorance.
Correct. Depending on the mode.
Passion is ignorance.
Correct, correct. Very good, very good. All right. So that is what the moral of the story is. So even in our day-to-day situations, if you look at a particular nature of a person, we can have, say, there are some people who get angry very easily, right? But what do we do as devotees? Even devotees, they have sinful inclinations and tendencies, right? Even devotees do have some, because that is not a qualification to get into bhakti. You can be sinful, you can be anything of that sort, but our thing is that we surrender to the Lord. We say, oh Lord, I have this bad attitude of getting angry all the time, can you please help me? We surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord and beg to him and ask him, can you please help me? So that is the mood of a devotee. Even if he has sinful inclinations, once he identifies that it is sinful, then he goes and surrenders to the Lord and prays to him to take out that bad quality of him so that he can please the Lord in a better way. Are you all with me?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Yes,
You
Mataji.
all
Yes,
identify.
Mataji.
So, our main duty in our life is to identify what those bad qualities are, right? If your mom comes and tells you, "Hey, Jagannath, you are so naughty. You have to probably tone it down a little bit." Then Jagannath will say, "Will you obey your mom? Will you just listen to her and say, 'Yes, mom, I will not do trouble you'?" Will you say to her? Or you will say, "No, Mama, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to pay attention to your words." What would be your answer?
I'm in the middle, like,
You'll be in the
Yeah.
middle. Okay.
Hello? Yeah, Mataji, to be honest, I
me
might,
too. I'm in the middle.
You're in the
Mataji,
middle.
I might be I won't really react, but in my mind, I'll be a little annoyed.
You'll be a
Yeah,
little
same.
annoyed, but
I'm just kind of like gloomy after that.
as long as you don't at least get angry with your mom or dad, that's good enough, right? And then you can think through it and then see if you can do it or not do it, right? I mean, at least if you can hold up your temper, because we know from Bhagavad Gita what all anger can lead to. It can lead to delusion, then your intelligence
Then
will be
you'll
lost.
go down to hell.
Correct, correct.
I think anger will let you to no lust will lead you
So,
to
so the point I
greed,
was trying to
and
say,
greed will let you to anger.
good job, Ramchandra. So the point I was trying to say is that even though the devotees have some bad habits, they pray to Krishna. So have you ever prayed to Krishna or thinking about your bad qualities? Oh Krishna, change my nature, or you don't have any bad qualities? Is that what you feel? What is that goes on in you?
Mm,
I
I don't.
pray to
I,
Krishna.
I don't. I don't think.
I don't know.
You
I
don't
don't
know?
think anything about that.
Your parents have not commented out to you? I mean, just so you know, or have you been a good child always?
Mataji, to be honest, middle.
You're in the middle. Okay, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, middle.
So, if at all in the future,
Middle
if you
too.
identify any bad quality in you, then pray to Krishna. All right, and Krishna will take care of you. He will say, "Okay, okay, no problem. I will take care of you," and slowly you will start to see goodness in you. Okay.
Mataji, even if you don't have like bad quality, you still have to play to Krishna.
Correct. You can pray to Krishna about anything. But specifically, since we are talking about nature, we have particular nature, and that all is coming due to the impressions from the past, right? Due to whatever we have accumulated from past, we behave in a certain way. And if that behavior is not conducive, then you pray to Krishna, Krishna, help me out in this situation. That's what I'm trying to say. Are you all with
Mataji?
me, kids? Did you understand the essence of the first verse? Yes?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji,
Yes?
um, when
Yes?
you told me about this, I think of a verse from Bhagavad Gita, but I don't remember what it was. I think of a verse from Bhagavad Gita, like when then you get lust, anger arises, then delusion arises, then
What is that verse you referred?
yeah, sammoha, smriti vibrama,
Wonderful. Who said that? Ramachandra? Did you say? Wonderful. Krodhat
yeah.
bhavati sammoha. That is right. That is the verse your brother told you. Very nice.
And
Very
Mataji,
nice.
we also learned that in Govinda class also.
You also learnt it in Govinda. Very sammoha. Very nice. So that was just one example, okay? Anger in general, but bad quality anytime is not a good idea. But as long as we try to correct our bad habits in us, it is good for us in the long run. Okay?
Mataji, is this Tenali Ram?
Yes, we are going to see Tenali Rama story now. Okay?
Yeah, Tenali Ram.
Okay, let's go to the next story. One day, King Krishnadevaraya was in the darbar. He asked, Tenali Rama, do you think a man can ever change his habits? And Tenali Rama says, yes, if a man tries, he can change his habits. Like that, Tenali Rama says. At that time, sometime ministers interrupted. No, how can a man change his habits ever? It is like dog's tail. It can never be straightened. Like that, these ministers started to say. And now, but Tenali Rama, he feels that a man can change his habits. Okay. If Tenali Rama feels that a man can change his habits, then let him straighten the tail of a dog. Like that, the ministers are saying. Tenali Rama, can you straighten a dog's tail? Like that, the king is asking to Tenali Rama.
Mataji,
Yeah. Yes.
this is Dina Krishna. I know this.
You know.
I know this story. We watched it in the.
Correct. Don't reveal the suspense, okay? That's so cute, Krishna, Dina Krishna. I'm sure you know a lot of stories. Okay, now Tenali Rama, he says, I will try to do it. I'm going to I'm going to straighten the dog's tail. That was what Tenali Rama said. No, that is not difficult. I know how to straighten the dog's tail. Like that, these ministers, they went and said to the king, some of you feel it is impossible to straighten a dog's tail, and some feel it is possible. I am confused. People who positively should prove it to me in 6 months that a dog's tail can be straightened. Whosoever does, that will take place of Tenali Rama in my ministry. So the king is saying that some of you feel it is impossible to straighten the dog's tail, and some feel it is possible to straighten the dog's tail. I am kind of confused. Some people who positively should prove it to me in 6 months that a dog's tail can be. He gives 6 months time to straighten the dog's tail. Okay, the king's order. Now everyone is starting to experiment. Tenali Rama, what does he do? He starves the dog. And this first person, he puts on a heavy stone in the dog's tail so that it can become straightened somehow. The second person, he tries to put a pipe in the tail. And third person, see what he's doing? He's putting the tail in between two wood pieces. Okay, these are all some experiments that the ministers are conducting to make the dog's tail straight. Tenali Rama was giving the dog food only for survival, meaning he didn't want the dog to die. He's just giving some food just so that the dog can live. And he doesn't want the dog to die by any chance. Because of not sufficient food, the dog became thin day by day by day. It started losing its weight. Whenever we starve, what happens? We lose our body fat and eventually we become thin, right? After 6 months, all the ministers bought their dogs. First minister removed the heavy stone from the dog. The dog's tail took its original shape. That is, it didn't become straight. The second minister, what did he do? He removed the pipe. Then he took the pipe out, and the dog's tail came back to its original shape. The third person, what did he do? He removed the wooden sticks, and the dog tail resumed its original shape back again. In this way, all of them, they failed to straighten the dog's tail. Okay, these three ministers, we all saw that they experimented in different ways. One of them, they put a heavy stone on the dog. When they removed it, the dog's tail came back to its original shape. The second person, he took the pipe out of the dog, and again the tail came back. And then the third person, he took the wooden stick, and then the tail came back again. So these were the three things. All of you simply failed, said the king to the ministers. At last, asked Tenali Rama, where is your dog? So now Tenali Rama's turned, right? He has to show his dog, and he has to prove to the king that the dog's tail can become straight. Tenali Rama, he removed the clothes from the dog, and to everyone's surprise, they saw that the dog's tail was straight. Can you all believe this? Can you look at this picture where Tenali Rama is showing his dog, and then to everyone's surprise, everyone were like, "Wow!"
Mataji, when the dog is weak, then the tail will get straight.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. That is the right answer, Jagannath.
And it's like
He
But the
gave
dog,
how much
correct, wonderful, Dina Krishna. But the dog had become too thin, and by seeing this, the king got very angry. What have you done to the dog? Like that, the king started to question Tenali Rama. And then Tenali Rama, he's saying, the dog has not died. I have taken care of the dog, and I just gave him less food because of the dog. Because of that, the dog became thin and it lost its muscle, and the tail automatically it became straight. So he's giving the reasons. We all know that he didn't feed the dog, but the dog, see, important point to note is that Tenali Rama, he starved the dog, but he did not make the dog die, right? The dog has not died because of the lack of food. He starved him to a point where he can survive. So that is the important thing. I've starved the dog only to prove that the dog's tail can be straightened. Like that says Tenali Rama. By listening to this, king appreciated Tenali Rama and all the ministers in the darbar and started clapping for Tenali Rama's intelligence. Raj Purohit was thinking, this is the right time to have fun of Tenali Rama. Tenali Rama, he's an intelligent man. He does all impossible things possible. You should give one of the dogs to Tenali Rama. Like that, the king actually told all the ministers, because Tenali Rama, he is very, very intelligent. He can make impossible things possible, and we should all give a dog to Tenali Rama. So that was the story. And now coming back to the morals, right? What is the moral of the story? The story is to educate devotees about mind control. The mind is like a dog's tail, which never becomes straight. It always causes diversions and distractions. However, if we starve our mind of our desires for sense gratification, then the mind becomes weak and eventually one can be engaged in Krishna Bhakti. So, what is this mind doing to us? Right? I mean, what is the function of the mind and what it does to us and how it actually misleads us is what the story is saying, right? Because Tenali Rama, he wants to prove the point that anybody can control or anybody can change their nature if they want to. But what happens? It is the mind that comes into play all the time. It tells you so many things, right? I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to engage myself in some sense gratification.
So you
But at the end of the day,
one thing at a time
mhm,
and then focus on one thing when you're doing that.
you focus on one thing when you have to do. Yes.
Like
So what
focus
happens is
on
the
what you're
mind,
doing right then.
Mataji,
correct, correct. Yes. Go ahead.
it's kind of like we're like the normal dogs, and our tail is not straight because we get diverted a lot. And
Mhm.
pure devotees, for example, Srila Prabhupada, like he was like the dog. He was like the dog still straight because he focuses on things like one thing at a time. He focuses on it properly, like chanting Krishna Bhakti and others.
Wonderful. Yes. So the point is that whenever our mind says something that is not Krishna conscious, we have to realize that is not right and get it back and engage ourselves in a Krishna conscious activity as much as possible. Is that okay, kids? That is the lessons learned from this particular sloka of controlling our mind and bringing back to engagement in Krishna consciousness. If
Mataji,
it's not Krishna consciousness.
when Akshita was saying like Prabhupada, it's like a tail,
Mhm.
straight tail. It reminds me like the Prabhupada is also kind of the dog because he went on the Jaladuta, he went through like diseases and all kinds of things, right? So and that dog was starving, and Prabhupada also suffered a lot. So the Prabhupada's also the dog too.
Wonderful.
Only Ramakrishna's dog. These two.
Mm. Yeah. So with Srila Prabhupada, he has had a life full of difficulties, and his only goal was to please Krishna and his spiritual master. That was what was going on in his mind. So when you have a higher goal, these lower fruits doesn't matter to you. Even if the lower fruits are there, you will say, "No, I don't want it." Okay, I'm staying in this fish. I'm staying in the ships. Prabhupada, he was feeling seasick and he couldn't even eat his food because of that reason. And he said, okay, no problem, I can starve, I can be like that, I just have to keep my body alive, like how this dog was there, the Tenali Rama, he just put some food to for it to survive. Like that, Prabhupada, he was just wanting to survive, keep his body and soul together. That's what was his intention. He had no other purpose than just to keep his body and soul together. But what about us? We engage in lot of like, oh, there is sweet, there is that, there is that. We always look for what is out there so that we can enjoy and to have some sense gratification. Even though we know it is offered to Krishna and we take it, but sometimes that can also turn into sense gratification if we are too much into it, right? So we have to draw a line and be careful and say, okay, am I eating more than what I'm supposed to? We have to be watchful of our diet too, right? Anything for that matter, we have to do it in moderation. And if it goes above, then that is intoxicating. That is not the right thing to do. And so we have to definitely watch out for that. And the moral is that the mind can deviate us in any direction, and we have to be really, really careful not to be tricked by our mind, but to always focus on Krishna and remember Krishna. Okay, kids? Is that good?
We still have a lot of time.
Yes, Mataji.
We still have
There
time.
is. What I was thinking was, so I just want you to share any of your experiences where your mind has distracted to do one thing and you did the other thing. How have you dealt in your day-to-day life? Whenever your mind it tells you something and you have did something opposite, how have you reacted to your life? Can somebody
Mataji, can
share?
Dina Krishna say?
Yes, Dina Krishna. Go ahead.
I was telling what TV when I was doing. So my mind was telling watch TV when I was doing my homework. Then I just prayed to Krishna so I can finish all my homework and then do whatever I want.
What did Dina Krishna say? I couldn't hear him properly.
He was doing his homework,
Uh-huh.
and I think he was watching TV.
Uh-huh.
He said like that. He prayed to Krishna that at least I can finish my homework and do something else.
No, I
Wow.
didn't say that. He just said he just watched TV and he do homework like that. He said. No, I didn't say that.
Uh-huh. What did you say, Dina Krishna? I missed you. I'm so sorry. My internet
I
connection.
said so. I said that I was doing my homework, then my mind was telling to watch TV. Then I prayed to Krishna that I can finish my homework and do whatever I want.
Oh, so sweet of you, Dina Krishna. How old are you?
5.
5 years, and you're able to think like this. Oh my God, unbelievable.
Can I say?
Uh-huh. Who's
So today,
Mhm.
I have just 2 homeworks.
Mhm.
Then I finished them. Then Now I'm listening, going to class. Then after that, I'm going to take bath and watch TV today.
Okay, okay. That's good. That's good. As long as you finish your work and then you finish your Krishna conscious duties, you can do enjoyment in moderation. Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to share what
Story.
happened to them?
Can I say a story about greed, Mataji?
Mataji, this is Shubhadra speaking. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, after Ramachandra Shubhadra. One second, Ramachandra, go ahead.
Story about greed.
Greed, yes, greed. Yeah.
So there was like this like um Gaur Gopal Prabhu. I was
Mm-hmm.
watching a video once, and he was
Okay.
saying about greed. There was just one king. He said like was a minister. He was going out for like horseback riding or something, and
Uh-huh.
he was like thinking my citizens or my people are really
Uh-huh.
like they're satisfied with what they have. And then minister people say no, 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 they're not. They're very greedy. And then
Oh.
and king is like what? And then
Uh-huh.
minister proves it. He puts a bag of 99 gold coins in front of a man's house.
Okay.
And this man counts them and he says 99. And he's like, what is this person? Why did he put 99? Why did he put 100? Then he says, my brain is out of control. He calls his wife and says, you count them. They also got 99. He's
Mm.
saying, me and your brain is out of control. He brought the son. They got also 90. He also got 99. Then there's official that they got 99. But then that greedy man, he was working for one gold coin.
Mm-hmm.
One gold coin. And then his wife was like, what is he doing? He's working
Mm.
for one gold coin when he has all these 99 coins. And he's not doing anything. So
Oh.
she takes 2 gold coins and goes for shopping.
Okay.
And then this man, when she comes back, he's like screaming, what are you doing?
Mhm.
And then she says that you're super greedy. You are working for one gold coin when you have 99. Now they
Oh.
have 97 gold.
Oh.
The son also used one,
Uh-huh.
and then he was like very mad. And then the king was watching everything, and then the minister says those 99 gold coins represented the 99 clubs.
Okay. So what is the moral, Ramachandra, from this?
You should be satisfied with what you have and not be greedy getting other things.
Yeah, you should be satisfied with your own quota and not go after others, right? Very nice, Ramachandra. And now Shubhadra. Go ahead, Shubhadra.
Like, first of all, like, when I just finish my homework, like, fastly, I just chant Krishna's names, and then I chant another round and another round and another round in the
Oh,
japa.
wow. Wonderful. That is such a nice habit.
Yeah. Share
Akshita,
one more. Can I share one more thing?
once, can you wait a minute? Akshita wants, she was been raising her hand for a long time now. Is that okay?
Okay.
Keshav
After
said,
Akshita, can I
Akshita, go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead.
So I heard this story.
Akshita,
I
go
saw
ahead.
some, I think some from ISKCON, I don't know, but from on drama. So there was this person named Kailash, and one Brahmana went to his house, and he said, and then he asked, and then he told Kailash to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once, and then Kailash had, no, actually, wait, first, when Kailash was in his mother's stomach, he was praying to Krishna in his mother's stomach. But then, and then when he was like a little kid or something, or like I don't know how old, and then when Brahmana, I think, came to his house, or some
Narad Muni comes.
Narad Muni, yeah, sorry. Yeah, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then he's like, no, I have to do homework. I have to do this, and then he's like,
That's
yeah, and then he says. Yeah, and then Kailash wastes his time, and then he gets more older, and then he gets married, and then he gets kids, and then Narada Muni comes again, and then he says, now do you have time to chant the Hare Krishna Mantra? He says, no, I have kids to take care of. I have to go to work. I have to do my job. I have to earn money for my family
Oh,
and others. And um, then then he gets older. I think I don't remember, but in this next life he becomes a
Dog.
snake.
The
Snake.
dog.
Yeah.
He becomes a dog, then he becomes snake. Not when
Yeah,
he,
dog. Then
dog.
he's barking.
what is the name of the drama?
I don't know. I just with my family, I was watching some video from ISKCON something, and then
Nice.
we saw this drama.
After the dog, I think it's a pig.
It is
It's-
what?
it's-
The
It
snake?
was a snake after the dog,
Yeah.
as I remember.
Okay.
And the
Very
reason
nice.
why he said no is because my kids are very lazy.
My kids
So
are very
I-
lazy.
And then he becomes a snake. You know why he doesn't even take Krishna consciousness? He first of all, as a snake, he can't do anything. There's
Right.
no point of a snake for a person. But there was a treasure hidden in the field. In the field. There's two reasons. He says animals are always eating the crops. Because he was a farmer, and then my kids are lazy again. So
Mhm.
that's when he gets annoyed. Like he
Absolutely.
asked like
See
5
how
times.
they are
He asked,
how
like,
they are
Yeah.
procrastinating, right? How they are procrastinating getting into Krishna
and then
consciousness.
you know what he says? There's a snake in your garden. You better beat him up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they come and beat him up, and then he's like, "No, I'm your grandfather." Like what? So then he says that Nagmani is going away, and then he says, then Kailash says, "Do I have at least now to take up the Krishna consciousness?"
Very nice.
Mataji,
Thank you so much.
Mataji,
Yes.
I know which temple it's from. I don't know like where it's from, but it's from Gopinath temple. I remember.
Gopinath.
Gopinath temple is, I think, Vrindavan.
Not a Gopinath.
It is
I
Not
think it's
Vrindavan, but
Chowpatty. Yes, go ahead.
I think it's Mumbai.
Yes, Chowpatty is in Mumbai.
Chowpatty temple.
yeah, ISKCON Chowpatty. Yeah.
Correct.
They have a lot of good dramas.
Correct.
Mataji, we can watch from them.
Got it. Got it. Thank you, kids. Yeah, one more. Yeah, and then we can end the class. Who wants to?
Mataji, I was asked.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like it is like is this story like the goldsmith and this like a merchant or something. Like this merchant has this like big bag of gold coins and the goldsmith was greedy. And so one time the goldsmith was trapped in a well. The merchant didn't know he was bad. So and they found the animals crying for help. So he rescued them, the animals, but he didn't rescue the goldsmith. He forgot to rescue him, and then the goldsmith was yelling out, did you forget me? And then the animal stopped him by saying, don't listen to him. Let him stay down there. He's greedy. He will disobey you. And then but the merchant said I can't leave him in there starving. So so he also pulled up the goldsmith, and then the goldsmith was like being like he was just lying to be kind. He was like saying like one time come to the city where I live because you saved me from well and also the same thing what the animals said. They just said to come to their homes, and the animal said that they will help the merchant when he needs help. And then so one time there's these thieves. They stole the merchant's gold and
The gold coins from him.
and then they tied up the merchant and threw him off of a cliff onto
Oh my God.
hating. The cliff was pretty small, so and
Nothing happened.
there was this lion in the well. The animals were a lion, a snake, and a monkey. So the monkey found the monkey that the monkey that the merchant saved found
Krishna Naina, The other class is going to start
Yeah.
here, so we have to
Mataji,
end the
can I
class.
say one?
Is that okay?
Will
Yeah, yeah, glass thing. Okay, go ahead. We will then do the prayers.
So
I'm
once I woke up this all day in Sunday.
uh-huh.
I woke up like morning, then I do puja,
Mhm.
then I watch TV.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. What is your name? I can Ishita?
Ishita,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ishta.
Ishita.
This is
Okay, okay.
1 8
Got it, got it. Isha, what do you want, Isha? Isha, did you
I
want to
used
say
to
something?
wake up and brush my teeth and then go downstairs, drink my milk, and
Uh-huh.
I watch TV.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Isha. Okay, let's all adjourn for today. The class was so good and interactive. Thank you, kids, for sharing your stories and realizations. I totally appreciate it. Can we all do our prayers and adjourn? Okay, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू माता जी हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
All of you all have a very good
हरे
Krishna
कृष्णा
conscious day. Bye. Hare Krishna.
बाय हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
See you all next week. Bye.
see you next week
Who? There's someone next in the audio. Maybe it's
माता
the
जी
next class.
माता जी
I think Mataji left the meeting.
हरे कृष्ण
Mataji, Vinita Mataji, can you end the call? Hari bol.
I really want to see the next class.
1 second.
Your house, Mom. You can end the call.
Okay.